We talk a lot about Dem entering versus Dem exiting. And, you know, I'm one of those people, I support progressives wherever. My personal take on it, and I still feel this way, even despite last night, I still feel that Dem exiting is the way to go. I think that this momentum and this movement that is building would do better with a brand new party. That is, in an ideal world, what I would like to see happen. That's why last year in September, I flew out to Washington, D.C. and showed up at Bernie's office to plead with him to start a new party. And he wasn't there, and of course he's not interested. We learned that. But I really thought that was the way to go in 2017. I really wanted us to start a brand new party. Now, that doesn't mean that's the only strategy that will work. I can't see Dem entering working long term, but, you know, there was certainly a victory last night. But my question isn't about that specifically. We've talked about that before. We're going to talk about it more in the future. My question today goes a step beyond that a little bit. So here's the thing that I've been pondering. I feel that no matter what happens, whether somehow the Democratic Party can be overhauled, or whether we need to start a new party, I feel like whichever one of those ends up working, and hopefully one of them does. If none of them do, then we're just going to be stuck where we're at indefinitely, where we have a right-wing demagogue every 4 to 8 years, followed by a center-right politician that disappoints us. We can stay in this limbo until this country literally comes crashing down, if we don't do anything. So, but regardless of what works, I feel like the end result is going to be the same, in the sense that the Democratic establishment will dissolve. So whether we start a new party, or whether Dem entering does work, which, I mean, there's so many things to overhaul there, I feel like that's... I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say it can't work, but I just think, and again, of course, last night was awesome, and it definitely reinvigorated my spirits, and I hope it did the same for you guys as well. It was so beautiful to see Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez win. It was so beautiful to see Ben Jealous win, and that definitely gives me hope for the future. But, you know, thinking long-term here, I feel like, man, it would be better to see them all branch off into a brand new party. But regardless of which way it works, the way I see it unfolding, no matter what, is that the Democratic establishment, as we know it now, will have to dissolve. Because if the Democratic Party is overhauled and hijacked, it's already become a new party. Or if a new party is started and it takes on the Democrats, either way, the Democrats are dead in the water, and they'll eventually just move over to the Republicans, which is where they belong anyway. So whichever system works, the end result is going to be the same. So my personal thing is, why not just start a brand new party so people know this is a new thing, not the Democrats that have disappointed them for 40 years. Now, one can make the argument against me, well, Ron, why build a whole new infrastructure when we can just hijack the existing one? And, well, because there's a lot of hurdles that make hijacking that existing one very, very hard, if not impossible, potentially. But again, whichever method works, and I still think third party's the way to go, but whichever method works, the Democratic establishment will go away. It will just have to. I guess my question is, do you guys agree or disagree with that? I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts. Do you think that if we have a true progressive option in this country, that has clout and power, whether it is a brand new third party, whether it is Green entering, whether it is Dem entering, again, let's not talk about that strategy right now. We will talk about it 100 more times, believe me. Let's just put that aside today. Let's just say, for hypothetical sake, one of those three works, right? Movement, Green Party, infiltrating it. One of them works on a large scale, right? Not just not just in a couple elections, but on a large scale. Could the current Democratic establishment continue to exist in our politics, or would they just inevitably be flushed out? What do you guys think? I'll go to the chat. Democratic Party is not the answer and never will be. I tend to agree. That wasn't my question, though. No, they are dead, flushed out. The third party guy would get the JFK treatment. The Democrats have been tainted to such a degree that I can't see how they can just turn this around. Flush them out, flushed out, most likely flushed out, but likely over a long period of time. If Bernie becomes POTUS, does he become leader of the Democratic Party? If not, who? How does that affect DNC leadership? If Bernie becomes president, which I think that's the only reason he's doing what he's doing, is because he wants to run for president and he thinks he can win. I think he could win if they don't cheat him. I don't have a lot of confidence that they wouldn't cheat him. But I think then if Bernie becomes POTUS, a hijack could be possible. I do think if he becomes president, then perhaps a hijack could be possible. We would need to get rid of superdelegates. We would need to get rid of money in politics. There's so many fights we would have to still have. And my personal take, and I know some of you agree, some of you don't, my personal take is, why have all these infighting? Like, why have all these infights when we still have a whole right wing to combat? Why not just have a brand new structure that's what we want to see, and then start the fight from there? That's what I think, but, some people would agree with me, some people wouldn't. But either way, would the Democratic establishment, could there be 3 potential parties? And if there were, who would go to the Democrats? If you want a progressive option, you'd have this new party. If you wanted a right-wing option, you already have the Republicans. Why would you... and that's what we're seeing now. That's why the Democratic Party is so uninspiring. Because they don't really stand for anything other than, well, we're not the Republicans. Well, if you have another option with power that also isn't the Republicans, why would people go to the Democrats? There are people in power who won't give up without a fight. That's very true. I think Bernie is giving the Democrats every possible chance. Clearly he is, yeah. Dems and Republicans, as we have said, Republicans running from Trump joining Dems where they feel good. Dems will triple down, pour more money to keep the hold. Yeah, and Alexandria Cortez, 28 years old, spent one-tenth of Crawley and beat him. Balthazar, thank you for the Super Chat contribution. Dem entering to fix a party is like trying to fix Nancy Pelosi's face through facelifts. Okay. I actually think she looks fantastic for her age. But, okay. Let's see. I think they'd run to their corporate pimps and literally clutch their pearls, eventually joining the GOP as they always intended. I agree. I think that, getting back to the question, I think that... they would just join the Republicans, which is what they are. The Democrats are Republicans. The establishment Democrats are Republicans. And that's why I kind of feel like it'd be better to just have progressives. But I'm all about, I'm certainly happy about last night. I'm thrilled that she won.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.